Hello, my crafty friends. It's Miriam here from Paperwheelz Studio, home of the wheelchair crafter. I hope everyone is doing well today. Today, I've got a new project I haven't done probably for quite some time. I'm not sure I have ever done it exactly like I'm doing it today. However, I am going to play with napkins. We're going to turn some napkins into some pretty things that we could use. Not pretty. In this case, grungy and Halloween-y, that we could use in the Halloween journal that I've been working on. And we're even going to use up the white linings today as well. Now, my napkins were the cheapies from Walmart for 99 cents a pack. So they're only pretty sure they're only 2-ply. So you can see right through them. And you get 4 with this particular Pick Your Poison one. Picked it up at walmart.com. Same with my skeleton. I looked for a skull skeleton, but I couldn't drag down a skull. I wanted one that would just be a separate skull, which would look really cool, but never found one. So I settled for regular skeletons, which is what my other black one is here. Again, I've already peeled it apart. It's a single ply, and I found these adorable little ghost napkins there as well. So we're going to do something with them. I have not separated them, but let's just do that. I will do that on camera so you can see the way you do it. You can actually tell which way these go because of the way their hands are together. There's a line on one hand and then this hand straight. If it bothers you when you go to use them, you can always straighten that out. But all you have to do with these is you open it up, you get 2 ghosts. And I believe you'll open it again and get 4 ghosts. But you also get more than 4 ghosts, because once you take out the lining part, which I believe I just took apart here. Yes, I did. Once you take your lining out, you'll have 8 ghosts, and then all you gotta do is take a black magic marker and create your eyes wherever you need them. This one separated when I was unfolding it, so sometimes they will. All I gotta do is pull this off and open it up, and see the eyes are already kind of marked. You know, can at least see where they go. You could use tape if you didn't need to, but I was hoping since this was actually where it was supposed to open up, that I'd be able to see that and get it open without too much problem. Stuck together in all the wrong places. There is a little tune when I was a kid, speaking of Halloween. I learned it differently. My mama taught it to me. Here we go. This is actually the liner. So you end up with 8 ghosts total from 1 napkin. So 1 package of 8 napkins is going to give you enough ghosts for quite some time. So if you need a lot of ghosts and want to do some ghost project, you can get a lot of ghosts from these little napkins. I'm going to put these away and reserve them for a later time. I just wanted to show you how they came apart. So anyway, that little poem song my mom taught me, I had to actually look it up because I didn't realize it was a real song, only she taught me a little different words. It's Halloween, Halloween, oh what funny things are seen. Witches' hats, coal black cats, broomstick riders, mice, and it's supposed to be scary things are seen. And the actual original says, my mom taught it to me, oh, what funny things are seen, because I had some issues with being afraid of the Halloween ghosts and goblins when I was a kid. I'm just going to take these apart right at where the hands come together. So anyway, back to my poem. Halloween, Halloween, oh, what scary things are seen. Witches' hats, coal black cats, broomstick riders, mice, and the original was mice and rats. For some reason, my mom taught it to me mice and bats, and I think bats goes better anyway than rats for Halloween. I don't, well, I don't mind that he's like that at the top here. Has a little bit of a roughly look up where his hair would be growing if ghosts had hair. So that's what we're doing. We're just going to roughly pull this apart here and lay these off to the side. The way each of my ghosts look a little slightly different at the top. This guy looks like he's growing a little more hair, and this guy looks like, yeah, he's missing a little. So anyway. Bats are better than rats on Halloween. I will say that much. So I've got a bunch of pieces of coated, I've used this before as basis when I've done. It's just double coated like a wax paper that you could use in an air fryer. I got them. We don't use them with the air fryer, so here they are in the craft room. And I got a whole bunch of bases over here to my left. And I also have some brown single-ply napkins that you get like at restaurants that I thought I could use as well. So we're going to start out with a piece of my black cards. This is a black card, actually. Maybe it's 2 pieces. Yeah. Okay. Black cardstock. Couldn't remember if I had several, single and double, so I wasn't sure which was which. And we're going to just go ahead and we're going to put one of our ghosts down. We're going to put this little guy on here. And to put him down, I'm using Mod Podge. So I'm going to be real careful and put him down with Mod Podge. And see how translucent, and see how it turns out. What I'm going to do first is cover the paper with the Mod Podge, and then I'm going to put the ghost down. We'll see what happens here. If you don't have ghost napkins, you could cut white napkins into ghost shapes and do the same thing that I'm doing here. Separate it out, cut them into ghost shapes, then separate out your napkin so that you only have the first ply. I'm doing a rotate of my paper here so I can get the other side without... Oh, we actually have 2 sheets down, 2 pieces of cardstock. I thought I only had 1. And I accidentally had 2. I better lay that aside because I got a little along the edge of that one. Excuse me. Now I'm not going to go up quite so high on this because I know I don't need Mod Podge under to the edges with my ghost. Where did my ghost that I'm using go? He's hiding behind the cardstock. Alrighty, here he is. So now I'm going to be real cautious about how I lay him down, because once you lay this down, it's stuck. So that's what we're going to get, is this dude laying here like this. And now I'm just using my fingers. I didn't get him centered, but that's okay. He's going to be cut out, so I'm okay with that. Pull over to become your own little tassel. Be careful with your tassels because they... Yep, that one peeled right off there, but that's all right. He's missing a tassel or a fringe or 2 on his skirt. Not all ghosts are perfect, right? So let's take 1 or 2 off here. Take you out of there, and maybe we'll just make him look all tattery here. So we're going to, you know, pull some off of him here and there. And come up here, and we don't want our hand to look perfect on this side, do we? So let's take a bit off. And take a bit off here. I don't want him to be perfect. We want this to be like the grungy looking ghost today. We'll do a... We already got his hair, so let's do a little bit right up here. All right. Now we're just going to cover him with a Mod Podge. And I'm going to set him to the side to dry. Ooh, look how that's doing. See how it's becoming almost a translucent look? Looks really cool. Keep in mind that your Mod Podge will has enough moisture that if you're using cardstock that will bleed, you'll get some bleed when you get your moisture down on your cardstock. So keep that in mind if that is something that you don't want. Then you want to put it on a piece of cardstock or something that wouldn't matter with the bleeding. So we're just going to cover this up. Make sure we get it so it's soaked into the ghost. And then it'll look kind of, when we go to cut this out, it's going to give the ghost that translucent look that ghosts have, like in movies and things, which I think will look really, really cool in the journal. Which is why I called it Translucent Ghost. But that's only part of it. It's making translucent ghosts, because you can do translucent things with your other pieces as well. So you need to go off to the right. We're going to lay you there for now and let you be drying. We didn't even have to worry about the paper down, did we, on that one? All right, so now I want to use up one of my Tim Holtz packaging pieces, and I am not going to worry about the Tim Holtz ideology at the top. I cut all my tags for these Halloween journals into a tombstone-like shape with the rounded, quite rounded corners. So let's see what we can fit on here. First of all, I'm going to use my scissors when I locate them. They're in hiding now. They're in ultimate hiding. Where are you, scissors? I need to name all my stuff. Wouldn't that be cool? Name them, and be really nice if you could say, "Hey, Sally Scissors, where did you go? Where are you?" And they would answer. Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah. In my dreams. Maybe someday I'll have, maybe not my lifetime, but someday they do make battery-powered scissors, by the way. I have a pair. They just don't work as, I'm not as good using them as I am using plain scissors. I don't have as much control. So if that's something you might be interested in, I picked mine up off of course, Amazon. Though I've now boycotted Amazon because they sold me a stolen telephone. No problem telling everybody I know that they sold me a stolen phone. Because they did. Sold me a phone, and 11 months later, I get a call from my cell phone company that the phone's been reported as stolen. It had been reported as stolen some time ago, and when they were apparently checking their accounts, they discovered it. So, and it actually had 2 IMEI numbers on the phone. One had been reported as stolen, and it didn't catch up with the other one for quite some time, until I'd had it in use for a while. So, there we go. Anyway, and Amazon would not take it back. They wanted me to buy another phone, and that was supposed to, fix my problem. All right, here's what we're going to do. We want to the part that says, and I'm really torn here because I like the spider venom and the skull, but I also like the word spells. So what if we bring that over to there? We can still get the spells, we just won't get the word modern. All right, so we're going to try something here. I don't know how well this will work, but we're going to test my cutting skills and maneuverability here. So we want to cut off I'm just going to do it in half here. I want to cut off this bit. And I'm hoping it goes right alongside the bottle all the way down. Let's see here. It did, yes. So then I'm going to put this on here, and the spells will be there, but I'm going to cut off your... I could make it Ire Sun, but I'm not going to do that. That'd be funny, wouldn't it? Especially on a Halloween journal. Why is that on a Halloween journal? People think I'm odd. Yes?
I'm done.
Okay. Is he still in bed?
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry.
Nope. Oh, that was wet. It's okay.
Sorry.
Not a problem. I really am trying to figure out where to put things, but... Okay.
You need me to do anything else?
No, I'm good. No, he can fix me supper, or I'll eat supper when he gets back.
Alrighty.
Nope, I'm good. I am good.
You may leave this open now.
Is he gone?
No, he's in bed.
Yeah, leave it open until he gets up. That's fine.
Alrighty. Well, if you need anything, call me.
I will. Thank you. You have a good weekend.
Alright, thanks.
Yep. Did you find anything that will work? You think?
There's not hardly any snowmen.
That's because we used them all up in that little stuff that we made.
So, I'll
Okay.
look this weekend, see if I see anything.
All right. Sounds good. I may have some percentages off, so before you place an Etsy order, let me know.
Okay. What?
Alrighty. I went ahead and cut this off camera, so now I have it like this. And I want to cover this up, and I was just playing around a little bit and thought maybe I could cut this down a little more and use my crow. So I'm going to try that.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to leave. Fine.
Okay, so now I have that. And let's get rid of the top of this because it's getting in my way. I don't want to take any extra off till I see how much of this I'm going to need. Now, if you didn't want to use scissors, you could use water brush and tear it. So we can put Mr. Crozy up there, and then we can put this down across like this. But do we want, I think we want the skull on top of the crow. Yeah, that's what it's going to be. It'll be just a little tiny bit showing that we can come back and fill in with something. A piece of this. We got some little spider webbing here, and we can cut another little piece off there, and we'll fill in this little spot and this little spot. Well, if we bring him up like that so you can actually see that he's a crow, we will have to fill in a couple little spots. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to do them first. I'll tear that off, figure out where I want my little spots to go. Tear another piece of this off. really don't care if it has the blackish ribbon stuff on it. So let's go for something here. I know I'm struggling here to figure out where to pull the piece from to where I'll have enough. We're going to just go ahead with you here. And we're not going to worry about the fact that I'm going to put this piece up here, and I'm going to put it right around where the hole is, from here over. So we're going to put that on first. Put that down first. Make sure, yep, make sure that the spiderweb part is up. We'll put that down because that will help cover. Oh, no, stay. Come on, cooperate and work for me. And to get it to stay real good, yeah, there we go. I'm going to put Mod Podge on top of it. I think I got mine a little wet. It's homemade. I think I got mine a little wet, but it'll still dry and work okay. Might take a little longer to dry, and hopefully it won't warp too much. All right, so now we'll have this. If we bring this up more, we'll get the stuff along the bottom here. And then we want this piece to go down here. Oh, where was that? Mark it with my finger here. I will be putting these other pieces down, so I'm going to go ahead and just cover the whole thing with my Mod Podge. And I don't care if I get anything on the back of this, because I'm going to have to back it with something when I'm finished anyway. Little much on the Mod Podge, I think. There we go. We won't really, I don't think, be able to tell what's what on layers wise. So I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and get this piece down as best I can. And I know right where it's going. Okay, got it down. And what I'll most likely do is put a label up there where the Tim, if any of that Tim Holtz ideology part stands out. So we're gonna piece this one. Make sure it's covered on the back in Mod Podge. We're gonna piece it in here. But I don't want it to cover up the name of the book on the spine, so we'll put this down. Gee. Okay. Kind of have a piece growing out of the book like there. Where does this go? Doesn't really matter, I don't think, since it's just a bit of white. I'll put this down on here like this. It wants to keep sticking to my fingers when I don't want it to. Okay. That's good for me. Good enough for me. And then we're going to come in with Mr. Crow, but we're going to take Mr. Crow, now that I look at him, and we're going to cut out Mr. Crow a little bit better. So we're going to cut around his feet. Okay, go on. Come on, Mr. Crow. Cooperate with me. Alright, now we'll leave that like that, because I definitely want to be sure to get the rest of this bit on here. We need to take Mr. Crow's feet. You gotta sacrifice your feet, bud. Yeah. There we go. Get that right up there like that. And the piece that still wants to stick to my finger is going to go back down here. Without my finger, I hope. All else fails, grab a tool to hold it in place. Wow. You know what? I think I'm just going to pull this piece up and not worry about it since it's brown. Now I'm going to cover the whole thing. And then we will have a lovely tag background that we can let dry and decorate. So let's squeeze some of this out on the lid here. So I don't have too much. Okay. Just a little bit, not enough. So we're going to get a good coating. I like to put it on until it starts turning white. We get a good coating on this. Oh. Looks like a disaster now, doesn't it? But we're not done. All right. Make sure I get...
Lindsay's birthday, 1987, is coming up tomorrow. From your calendar, Lindsay's birthday, 1987, is coming up tomorrow.
Happy birthday, Lindsay. My device just told me I had something coming up tomorrow and it's somebody's birthday. I have not seen for a while or talked to. A friend of mine. Okay. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. I love this all grungy and wrinkly and icky looking. So we're gonna lay it off to the side as well here so it can be drying while we work with our last napkin. See what I got here, and I'm gonna clean up just a little bit. Get the napkin off my sticky fingers here. Don't have a baby wipe handy. We'll get rid of this. And we will will do the next one. Next one. Who's next? Who is next in the napkin lineup here? Let's see. Let's try, since we've done those, let's try just adding a brown one to something. These are beverage or food, fast food napkins. A lot of the places in the States have just brown fast food napkins these days. I'll just lay these napkins up there for now and lay my trash up there just for now. I have these brown food napkins. So we're going to cover another Tim Holtz card. And we're going to use it also on, now I want to be one that has the white all over it so it'll read through. We're going to use it on a couple different things. We're going to use it on this one. And we're going to use it on this one. And I have some rather large stickers that we are going to use it on as well. Let me see which one I want to do right now. Let's do the Deadly Nightshade. Ooh, woo, woo. Nightshade is definitely something you would not want to add to someone's soup that you're cooking. So we're going to add this actually to 3 different things and see how it turns out. I'm just going to open it up. And not really, it doesn't really matter to me how. Whether it tears or whatever, I'm just, in fact, I'm going to just wad it up enough that I can cut through the center. And if I cut it like that, it'll just go right through the whole thing, maybe. Yep. Cuts right through it. And we can put a piece away. And I only have one big, large piece to work from here. So, much better. And if I'm very careful, I can do all 3 of these with one piece. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to put the Mod Podge down on. These are very large stickers that I got from Michael's here in the United States. And I believe I order almost everything I get, y'all, because I don't get out a lot. And I've had these since, I don't know if they're a new release, but I've had them since at least last year, so. But you could look and see if you can find them there. Or perhaps large Halloween stickers. Somebody might have some or sell Michael's stuff that they pick up on eBay or something. I think Tony, it was, at Crafty by Tony, says she picks up some things from Michael's Recollections on eBay. So you might look there, because a lot of what Michael sell is Recollections. That's their name, brand for their store. Well, it tore here, but I don't really mind that it's torn, because it's going to be grunged and sanded anyway. As much as I can without destroying my sticker. So, let's get some off there. We're going to put this down on top here. I just want to give it more of a vintage look. So, I want it to soak in. And I was hoping this would give it more of the vintage look without actually having to do much of anything but put Mod Podge on it. And make a sticky mess. Right? Now, I can put this along the edge here, and then I can probably, once it gets soaked in a little bit, probably can tear this along this edge here to get rid of my extra. Yeah, good enough that it's still not attached. Alright, so now I have the Deadly Nightshade covered. Make sure I hit it again with my Mod Podge. Get it all nice and covered. And we'll see what this looks like once I dry them. We'll cover everything, and then I'm going to dry it. And I'll cut out the drying part That way you don't have to mess with hearing the blow drying thing. But those who want to see it can see how I do it before I cut that part out. Just again, peeling napkin off my fingers because it gets stuck when you touch napkin with Mod Podge on your fingers. It gets stuck to them. So we're going to put that little pile there. We're going to start with a Hitchcock confectionery. As in Alfred Hitchcock confectionery. Not A as in A, and the. It's A as in Alfred, A period. Alright, so let's see here. We want to use the most of this that we can. I don't care that I torn there. We're going to put down what we can and not worry much about the tear. Perfect. 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 It worked. And hopefully then when we put this down on here, yeah, mine is very runny. Runny Mod Podge is not a good idea. We're going to just put this across here, and hopefully when it soaks down in, we'll be able to read what's under it. I believe so. I believe we will, though I'm not 100% positive. I think the reason, like, towels are ripping is because of the wet Mod Podge that's on my sponge here. Alright, let's see what happens. Let that soak in and do that one. And we'll scoot it over a bit. Oh, no. Peel you off the back. And scoot you over that way. Here we go. Scoot you up. And we'll put this piece here. Because we're going to do about the same thing that we did with the others here. And I kind of thought when I was originally thinking this, where it says to the Tim Holtz part, I kind of thought if I do use the tag for like a graveyard type tag, that the Tim Holtz ideology, you wouldn't be able to read it. It just looks like it says a name on the gravestone, but we'll see. And I did not glue down underneath. Well, we'll try this now. See if we can salvage my mistake. Here we go. Yep, we did. Again, I don't care about crooked. Just want to coat it and get it on there. So I'll probably ink it up and we'll take advantage of the crookedness. Take advantage of the places where it gloopies. And you can see right through this, so I don't think we'll cover up the Tim Holtz ideology part when because you can read exactly what it says, but that's okay. Now we know it would be highly transparent. So let me cover my Mod Podge, and I'm going to go back and start with my ghost. And I'm going to dry these. Okay, that's good. You can at least see how they're turning out. I'm still little slightly, I mean, if I were doing this and not filming, I would dry them a bit more. This one's still a little wet up here. However, once these dry, let me see if I can find, this one is. I've got a little sander here that I'm going to check out that ghost, though. Isn't that just the coolest thing ever? I'm going to cut it out, however. Don't fall off. Okay, the ghost, it's dry. See how it picked up some of the white? And I might still do it again, but I'm going to cut it out. And that way it can be put down on a page on its own. But really like that. Really like how that turned out. And then the Deadly Nightshade. I'm going to use some inks and ink this up. I'm also going to get out some embossing things. So you all make sure you stay tuned to my channel for the next video, because see how this just sands? You can just sand off what you don't want. Once it's completely dry. If it's not dry, obviously it's not going to sand off as easily. It'll take it a while to get it off of there. And I think that is still a wee bit. But you can just sand off your edges. So I'm going to go ahead and finish sanding these. And next time we will get out my embossing powders and embossing things. And we're going to do a little bit of embossing. Not to... we're going to do it to make it look a little grungier, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So you all come back and join me in my next video. See, there they are. And look at that grunginess with the wrinkles. That turned out really cool as well. And it just looks really creepy and old with all the wrinkles. Again, I'll let that get dried up here. And I will see you all in my next video when we play with all these lovely things. Bye for now. You all have a good evening.